FM studios right here in Westview, Pretoria West. My name is Kgosi. Welcome to our Spiritual Tuesdays. Today, the Tuesday, the 27th of February, 2024. Okay.
Poster. Wow.
We are live on air. Mutirotala poster. Yeah, we do have times. Do you know poster?
We're king.
Dumela Mahaichu, Dumela, Kgosi is speaking right here on Kgosi FM. Yeah, we have started a little bit behind in time. Sorry for those who have already locked in 7:30. You know, when you run a radio station, you know, it's an online platform. Somehow you're going to get some glitches before you start.
Don't justify unprofessionalism. Don't justify.
It's not, Mafana. It's not, but it's getting one of those things that are so much unplanned for years. But we are here. Unforeseen circumstances, yeah. But we're here today on a Tuesday, as you know. Today's a religious Tuesday, and today we're like a religion and the spirituality of African people in African context. In a sense, where Africans ever Christians in the first place. Where does Christianity come from? The Africanist person in this room. Hello, Queenie.
Hi.
Hi,
alright.
Yeah, when we are live on Facebook, my Facebook name is hi. Then that's our WhatsApp number. I share WhatsApp number like you. 064548776. My Facebook page is Kgosi and YouTube page on the Kgosi on the live show, as you can see at the bottom of the screen. Please comment, subscribe, like, and share our content and tell us what you think about today's show. And it will be on a podcast again. Go Spotify and Anchor FM. You just go search the Kgosi on a live show and you'll get us there. All right, so we are here today to talk, as I said, as a Fandahake, our Religious Tuesday, and we are talking everything religion, but specifically the spirituality of South Africa and religion on broader scale in the African context.
Yes, sir.
And like I said, that the Jibrika cannot talk about everything because now we know that spiritual. He will tell us what the welcome the guests, but for you to welcome the listeners. Welcome the listeners.
Welcome, beautiful listeners.
Yeah.
Welcome everybody, the listeners and the lady next to me. Hey, Baba, you know, you are hitting me on the spot.
I'm
not an expert in these things.
You is an expert. How can you say that?
No. When I was doing this, my mentor.
Easy line.
You know, the issue of spirituality,
yes,
versus issues of religion, or let's say, to be precise, Christianity. I think there's a confusion in terms of wording, in terms of, you know, when people start naming things.
Yes.
That's where some of us get confused.
Okay.
Originally, Africans had their own, if I were to call it, religion, which is called shamanism. Shamanism had to do...
Like shaman.
Shaman, like Credo Mutu.
Like a shaman.
Shaman.
Something like that,
exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Shamanism had to do a lot with oneness with nature, the universe. At the same time, we respect everything, including animals, and we understand, which is key, we understand that nothing goes away.
Okay.
You see, that's the part where now you're going to have a split in terms of ideology, because shamanism says nothing goes away. When a spirit gets out of a body, it is still in existence with us. As much as now I might be eating this fruit, but in the actual fact, the fruit still does exist because of what happens. Okay.
All right. One of those.
Yeah, you see, unforeseen circumstances. So what's happening is that nothing goes away. It's metamorphosis.
Yeah, okay.
And this is where you find with Manje, as we continue living and colonization came and people came and formed their own things. That is why you will notice, Uguti, there's always a link in a lot of things that are done by the Jews with the things that are done by Africans. Why? Because Judaism came out of shamanism.
Okay.
Christianity came out of Judaism. Then Islam came. And you had, at the same time, Hinduism coming out of shamanism. That's why the Hindus, they go as far as they will not kill anything, even a cockroach or whatever the case might be. Now, what is it that I'm trying to put together here? Our religion has been about oneness.
Oneness.
We are one.
Okay.
We are one. And that is why you find, Uguti, it matters what you do to the next person.
Yeah.
Even the type of respect that you give.
To the next person, yes.
You understand? Because since we believe that nothing goes away, when I respect you, I'm not respecting you, but I am respecting Lomundo Hambanaye.
All right.
And in most cases, Lomundo Hambanaye, that is the name that will be given to you.
Yeah.
As a child.
Okay.
Because of it is believed that Lomundo saphila, but usaphila kuwe.
Yes.
Uma ngithi usbewu. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I am talking about basically my grandfather. So mawuthi kimi sbewu, you are calling my grandfather. So you will not address my grandfather in anyhow.
Yeah.
Just like I will not address your grandfather in anyhow.
Okay.
The disrespect that you find today, it is brought by the fact that when Christianity was introduced, one of the major things that actually they targeted was the fact that when a person passes on, they are no longer part of us, they are no longer in existence. Now, by doing that, they were actually hitting the backbone. Because you could not take inkomo zami, since I believe ukuthi ngizinikezwe umkhulu. Umkhulu wanginikeza zona. So what's going to happen? When you come to take them, I'm going to fight for them.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
But if you're going to come with an idea that says, umkhulu wakho akasekho, umkhulu wakho is no longer part of the living, as a matter of fact, everything about him, it is forgotten, is no longer connected to you. So in the actual fact, that means therefore I can do whatever it is that I want to do ngale nkomo because of accesses kaMkhulu.
Okay.
So I can sell them to you or whatever it is. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, yes.
So they had to deal with that's why my other book, The Missing Link, that's the missing link. They had to deal with the core, the very same thing that we are holding on to. Because Tina, we're holding on to the fact ukuthi as much as umama mangasekho emhlabeni but usese nami uyangibona.
Yeah.
So certain things mangizenza, I need to be conscious ukuthi umama ubhekile.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's why even whenever I will approach you, if I'm going to do harm to you, I will be conscious of the fact that. So as a result of that, Africans respected each other.
Yeah.
That is why even in time immemorial, wars were not fought with spears. There was no blood sharing.
Yes.
Instead, abantu bebathuselana.
Yeah, I know.
The other group will stand and go, the ones who runs, they've lost the
those
battle.
who get tired, the other ones have won.
Do you understand?
Shaka changed that.
Yeah, exactly. because the thing is this, they were afraid to share blood.
Yes.
You understand?
All right.
Because of the idea that we had. Now, you can imagine these people, they were that conscious, that humbled.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why, again, some of the things as a struggle shangazo today, such as Abu's team, back then it was not, because Nomuntu Swazane understood a certain, she had a particular understanding about this thing. It was not about ukuthi mhlawumbe I am being abused or my rights are being taken for granted or whatever it is. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it was about more of ukupleasa idlozi.
Okay.
Now that's shamanism.
So shamanism, it's Christianity. How do they mix? Do they mix somehow?
Now the values
Yeah.
of Christianity,
Yeah.
such as respect, taking care of your brother, and all those originate from shamanism.
Yeah.
And Africans had long practiced that before there was Christianity.
Yeah.
This is the reason why I did say in another conversation that we had, Uguti, the likes of Abu Mushweshwe, when he was asked to convert
To Christianity. Yeah.
And then he said, why should you take this thing? Because in the actual fact, it's not teaching us anything new. Already we have these values.
Yeah.
But we didn't call it Christianity. You see, this is the problem about this word, Christianity. It's what it was our way of life. It was our nature.
Okay,
You
yeah.
understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We're not calling it that. And it is this word,
Christianity.
that brings a big challenge to a lot of people. To the Christian, it's like, this is something new.
Yeah.
We didn't have it. And to those who are in culture and tradition, it's like, this is a foreign idea.
Yeah.
The word. You see, white people are very good with naming things. They name things. And just like now, I mean, Metsa Tunya, they say Victory Falls.
Yeah, Victoria Falls.
Victoria Falls.
Musiwa Tuya.
Yeah, Muswa Tunya, you understand? Muswa Tunya. Yeah,
Yes.
you understand? They are good with naming things.
Yeah.
So when they give a thing a name, Nati, we no longer do a research and check what is happening. So sometimes I listen to the conversations and the debates that we will have between Christian and traditionalists, and you get to notice, Uguti, in the actual fact, we seem to be having a similar understanding somewhere, but we lose each other when we start talking about names. And that is why even in the Bible itself,
Yeah.
the scholars of Rome and the scholars of Greek, of Greece, they had to make it a point that they changed the names of people and the names of places where the events took place, so that we don't have a point of reference, in order that when the thing is presented to us, it must be presented to us as if it's new, as if it happened somewhere in Europe or in the Middle East. And guess what? Most of the things that you read about these events, they took place even here.
Yeah.
So this is where the problem is, because of, if you want to really own something, you need to get rid of the history of the people who are stewards of that thing,
Yeah.
and paint your own history. Look, we talk about the issue of religion, and we go back and we talk about Kemet.
Came through Egypt, by the way, I guess.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We talk about Kemet. And there's a whole lot that happened in Kemet.
Yeah.
And we go and talk about Kanana. There's a whole lot that happened in Kanana, but most of the footprint is in Kemet.
All right.
Now, what is it that they did when they got into Kemet and they realized that Kemet, depicted more of our image and our existence in terms of history? The first thing that they did, that it was to change the sculptures, break their noses, use a chemical to change them from being black to be yellow, and all, because they don't want you to have a point of reference.
Yeah.
The same thing that happens with the Jews. I don't understand. You see, Mina, I'll be honest with you. It sometimes bothers me to look at how us as Africans, especially black South Africans,
Yeah.
we get to be so deceived.
Okay.
Today you walk into a black person and you say that do you know that in the actual fact you are of Hebrew descent? They will say no.
Yeah, I get it, but I mean, the Hebrews have been put to us as white people.
You see, that's the
So
thing.
that is why they will never,
That's the thing. They changed the image.
obviously, we know that, yeah.
And from there,
Jesus is white.
Exactly. It ended up looking all white.
Yeah.
Now, when it looks all white, you can no longer relate. You don't have a point of reference.
Yeah.
But there are certain things that will show you. For an example, emakhaya makwenziwa imisebenzi, there are particular things that they will do. Uma kuhlatshwa isilwane kunendlela, kune-approach ethize.
Yeah.
Uma mhlambe lo msebenzi is about a particular event, kunezinto in this animal that must be banned, the smoke must go up. I did mention that.
Yes.
Funny enough, you go and read the Torah. The Torah shows you that the priest will have to take the meat. It must be banned, either probably mumatlaking or something like that,
Yeah.
and then the smoke must go up and stuff. Now, here you are having people in the rural areas. They've never read the Torah. They don't know how to read and write, but they are doing the very same things that are found in the Torah.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, really, how foolish can you be for you to see that in the actual fact, these are the original people of the book.
Yeah.
Because they're doing something that is in the book,
Yeah.
and without even reading the book. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So our culture, our traditions, our lifestyle reveals more of our identity. And this is what has been attacked, this identity.
Yes.
And that is why, therefore, you will notice that when it comes to like the issue of Jesus Christ, for an example, Xhosas, when the Bible arrived with the white folks, there was a comment that they made.
The Xhosas.
AmaXhosa.
Yeah.
During the days of Gansigane.
Yeah.
And they said, aba bantu abamhlophe babulele utanci.
Okay.
Now, utanci ngutata omncinci in Xhosa. My question always comes, how did the Xhosas, without reading the Bible, knew that white people are the ones who killed utanci, except if there were eyewitnesses back in the days whom from generation to generation had passed down the information to their kids so that it must not get lost.
Okay.
That is why years later, right down in the coast, when the boats arrived with white people, Xhosas could identify that these are the people ababulele utanci.
Why didn't they kill them? They were never born.
No, they fought. They fought. Remember, AmaXhosa, they fought 100 years with the British, unconquered, using spears.
Yeah.
Refusing to give up under the leadership of Yagansigane. Now, that is powerful again because we're talking about spirituality now. We're talking about spirituality now.
Yeah.
How were they able to fight people with guns using spears without having any sophisticated, weapons? Because of the issue again of prophecy, being able to connect to the other realm. Remember, the gift of being able to see the future and to interpret the future, it lied a lot with black people.
Yes.
And I did explain why. Because of our pancreas gland is much more longer than theirs.
And they know it.
Exactly. And that's where your third eye is. And because of the type of food that we were eating. So, ubona. So people like Abonsigane, that's why I always tell people that, you know what, the issue of Jesus Christ is nothing new to us because of, in the actual fact, we always had prophets. We always had prophets. The issue of having someone who is a prophet, among black people, if you go to the history of black people, whether you are in Ibu, whether you are talking about the Ashantis, whether you're talking about the Venda, whether you're talking about, there was always a prophet.
Yeah.
Every black race, every black group has got someone prominent that they can tell you about who was the prophet. Why? Because that gift lies with us because of our melanin and because of our pancreas gland and because of the type of food that we're eating and the lifestyle that we had.
Yeah.
We were not contaminated.
Okay. Yeah. Coming to you live. Yeah.
Wow.
We are coming to you live, man, on Kgosi FM on www.holdings.co.za/Kgosi FM / that's our website where you can click and listen to us live. And then we are coming live on Facebook, which is the name Kgosi Sehongwane, and YouTube, the Kgosi Sehongwane Live Show. And you can catch us on both platforms. Later on today, you can revisit us more like in Spotify and Anchor FM. You can get the show up on audio and video if you want. I'm in studio today, Lady the Queen herself, and Nick Jibilika, to come and talk about spirituality in African context, specifically religion. How did we become Christians? What happened to us? Are we really Christians? Is there anything called Christianity? And, all those things. We need to understand, as Africans, where did we come from? And where are we going with this religion? Where did we lose it somehow? I'm now a born again Christian myself. I'm going to defend my religion. I told Bereka that day. Where do we come from? Yeah. Queenie, when I remember got this thing when you also opinion about religion, Lerina and whatnot. What do you think?
When it comes to those, I could say I'm still very young.
Okay.
When it comes to that.
To religion.
Because
are you a Christian?
Yes.
Do you go to church?
I was raised in a church.
Yes.
Yes.
And you never ask questions on why the hell am I going to this?
There was even a point where I didn't see the point of going there.
You're just
Some
going.
of the things that were practiced there didn't make sense to me. I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
This thing is being imposed on me.
Like what? Example of what
like
things?
Christianity.
Mm-hmm.
Ne?
Yeah.
And I was never taught anything African.
Yeah.
Understand?
Yes.
This thing, as you were saying, I remembered I saw something on social media. Ne? It was what do you call this Pope?
Pope wa ko Roma.
Yeah, what do they call Baliba parandi gown it's a white
Ke wena Pope ya.
yes so
Yeah.
that's it. I get to never look among I swear this thing a goldies
And then some mushiso.
and ba lighter something kamol and then ba
Incense,
chuma
yeah.
incense your nail. Don't African practice that?
Hasn't Pepo
Ke
can
pepo, and they always had. Ne?
But then no batang ko
But
Roma
then
le ko
heli-
wese le ko
but I get a khoa to start with.
Yeah.
Ne, bona it's right to practice it.
But le nna ke
But
bodimo.
hey, practice ke batho ba bantsho.
Yes.
Ke dilo tsa ba
It's
heathen.
demonic,
It's
yes.
a heathen thing, demonic thing. It's called heathen.
Yes. Yeah.
So why is it called heathen? Because they're practicing the same thing.
Yeah.
So Tina, we are not supposed to practice our own things, our own way, the way they found us doing it. Believe you me, from Kisa Belewane,
Yeah.
azangi ka ko hai ho practice we dilo tseo.
Okay.
Understand? Because we were raised in a church, lo reng dilo tseo a di riwe ke di no go area.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
So you understand what my parents never practiced those things like in front of us, like they never passed that knowledge to us.
Yeah.
Okay. So now I don't really have that knowledge. All the knowledge that I have, I pick it up from
Go
the
like
streets.
that's all
Yes, from the streets.
Yeah.
Understand?
Well,
So knowledge was not passed on. And
Well-
at the age that I'm at right now,
Yes.
imagine how many South Africans
yeah.
didn't get that knowledge passed on to them. Only those who are fortunate enough for practice those things.
Yeah.
Understand?
Yeah.
They would put them here and ba fish and pepper, ba pasabadi.
Yeah.
Understand?
Do you do that now as an adult? You're like yourself.
Of course, I have to go back to my roots.
Wa phatla badimolo and
Yeah, I
everything,
have
yes.
to.
Okay.
I have to.
Yeah.
I have to. I believe my parents are late, by
Yes.
the way. Ne?
Yeah.
Both of them, my father just passed on last year.
Okay.
But my mother passed on.
Years
I was
ago.
still
Long
very
time.
young.
Yeah.
I was still very, very, very young.
Okay.
I was still a teenager.
Yeah.
So, one understand the whole ring. Nobody have ever passed that. Even my grandmother was not practicing that. She was also a Christian.
Yeah.
That is why the other day, this thing, system,
Yeah,
that it was passed on to us by the system. Yeah, at least government, of which back then government in Elimang.
Neliboneba.
Thank you.
All right.
Wabon. So system itlile ya passiwa on to the new generation, which is us.
Yeah.
Understand? Now, okay, our parents actually. It was passed on to our parents.
Yeah.
My parents.
Yeah.
They were Christian also. So nako go guy information you. If
Okay.
my parents themselves
Never
would never
saw it.
practice
Yeah.
dilo.
All right. The number is 064-548-776. If you want to comment live with us, send us a voice note. Comment as well. What do you think about today's topic, religion in the African context? Have you been duped by the Europeans? Do not store yourself riches on earth. You must store it in heaven, not on earth. That's why I differ with my religion, to be honest. But now one thing I believe, guys,
Yes, true.
all those things they do work. I've seen them working in Mona whenever. But I don't believe in a system of religion. Kereke, a building, Muruti things fine. Dude, I've even been to church actually for how many years, and nothing happens. And I've seen people been thinking, I'm like, there's nothing like that.
Yes.
I can go to church and sleep the whole service, and then what? You understand what I'm saying?
You get
because
nothing.
just to let yourself what was taken out of the Bible was scripture said the kingdom of God is inside you, not in a church,
Yes.
not in a building, not in a person. The Catholic Church, the Council of Nicaea, when it met, Constantine. I want to break this thing because I was talking to people about Kereke. Yeah, Roma especially. I'm going to have that as a reference because it's going to be able to as if it's a Christian church. Kereke Roma Peter is a lie. They are lied by Peter against the first pope. That's a lie. Catholics, look at me. It's a lie. And I'll tell you why it's a lie. Peter was killed by Emperor Nero in Rome. He burnt Peter upside. Peter was crucified
Upside
like
down,
Jesus. And he said, I can't die like my Lord. I'm not worth it. I'm not worth to die like him. Then Nero upside him down. Upside down. Then they burned him from the head up. Simon Peter. So another like they found his bones. That man was burnt. You understand? So you look into those kind of things. Still, Roma, it twisty idea Christianity, and then they throw to us, and people just took them like that. That's the blend of Christianity. Now, Emperor Nero was killed. I think he was murdered by his mother or wife or something like that because he was a cruel emperor. Olympic Games more than they were killing Christians inside that Colosseum. Olympic Games are similar to the Olympic here. It was a murder scene where Christians were thrown in there with lions and whatnot, and they were banana and this sign thumbs down. The thumbs up, like Yamuri Facebook or whatever. Again, hurry, you live, hurry, you die.
Wow.
You understand? That's how it was. Then come the guy called Constantine. This guy comes in, and Constantine one day he went out to war, and then he saw a cross. I would like a cross in the commas because it was not a cross in Taiboni. And that cross had letters saying, with this conquer. Then he told his soldiers to put that thing on the shield. They went to war. They fought. That was history we were taught in school, by the way. They went to war. They fought. They won. When he came in, he declared, we are now all Christians. Because second thing, it was political because now the empire was going to be ripped in two. Most of the people in the empire, Roma, were becoming Christians. So they were fighting the heathens, the so-called heathens, Zeus, Athena, and the rest of the other gods. So he declared they were all going to be Christians, but he was worshiping the sun god in secret. And the mother ran to Jerusalem, the queen mother, or Constantine. I pretend we are being this, whatever that you say we are, but then you are worshiping a god in a way. You understand what I'm saying? So fine. Constantine were all Christians. Hence the regalia of the Pope. I don't know, whenever you correct me more, whatever more information that you have. The Pope regalia, that's how Constantine used to wear. The purple thing, it's it's got a meaning. It's royalty. It's worn by them. So the way Mupapa Perengatin, that's how Constantine would dress when it comes to address people as the first Pope. So when they had to twist it, by people must fall into this name of Christianity. They said, no, Peter, because just on this church, on this rock, I'll build my church. That's not a building. It means people will learn from you and they will be converted into this thing from you, not build a church.
In the actual fact, the issue of signs, such as the cross, the ankh, and all these things, they originated from Kemet.
Because Constantine, the head and even that key sort of a cycle, and then in a cross thing.
It's a womb of a woman.
Yes,
that is why it is a sign of a female
fertility.
Exactly.
So that's what he saw, Constantine. About dresser on those, but I know how he saw a cross.
All the signs you see, all the signs that you find within the religions that you have, which is Christianity, Judaism. I mean, you talk about the star with the 6 knots and all that, which represents the 4 elements. And then you talk about the issues of the moon and the star and all that. All these signs originated from Kemet. These were used at specific times for specific things.
Yes.
Even the issue of the cross. The issue of the cross does not originate from the Romans.
Yeah.
They took everything. You see, they took everything from us.
So because Matapelushu. Hi, I get recognizer. Hello, Matapelo, Warimba Fanas, Ardumelang. She's watching with us, by the way, and she commented just like how they try to teach us our own history.
Exactly.
Dumelang. Yeah, thank you so much, my baby.
So all these things originated from Kemet.
Yeah.
They originated from our ancestors.
Yes.
Remember that there was a time in memorial whereby the Europeans had to come in Kemet and be taught by our ancestors.
Yeah.
Right in Kemet, next to the Nile, you had the city of Timbis, whereby there was, in the actual fact, a university that was built. And that university, there were scrolls there that were recorded of everything. You see, that's why I don't understand, man. You know, this is very much important history, and I don't understand why is it that most of our people, they don't know about it. Because of when you know such kind of things, you won't be duped.
No, but
We
remember,
are not taught.
the reason why they cannot give information. We were speaking last time, how can the colonizer give you something to liberate yourself with? They can't. Because, I mean, the whole thing, if you can just go to X and see, nowadays, since Elon Musk had taken over X, which is Twitter, Kylie, there's a lot of white people that have open accounts that are, which again, those people are, I can go to fucking,
Why don't we just leave that thing, bro? I mean, we are here, bro. What the fuck? Just leave the fucking thing. We are here. You know, this is what makes us unique. This is what makes us unique. Because of it's no holds bar fucking program, and then we fucking say it as it is. That's how it is.
So these people,
You are right, by the way.
like, they are so racist, eh? But Togo, it's like he just opened up those floodgates of racism in this country. And their accounts, they've got stupid names. Stupid names, you know, not even their own profile pictures, just, you know,
they
it's
just
like a
put
ghost
pictures.
account.
They can write anything that they
You
want.
understand? Sharp. And then they will tell you, we brought civilization. I'm like, when stupid man, where does the word paper come from? Simple. The word paper. It's like, yeah. I'm like, The word paper comes from papyrus. Papyrus means the reader holangai. One place in the whole world. Letaka, Nile River. Where's Nile River, by the way? Is it in Europe? In Germany? No, it's in Africa. One. So that means we're the first people to do a scroll, to do a paper to write on. Hence the name, the word paper from papyrus read. The first alphabet is Omori.
Point of reference.
Yeah.
Was destroyed.
You understand? The Timbuktu University was the first one to be established in Mali.
Exactly.
You understand? The first currency in the world were those white shells. They used that called Mali as currency. You understand? So you're not telling me how you came here when you're in the Caucasus Mountains, hiding in there before you can become people. You were like whatever that you was, and you're not telling me how no, we didn't know shit about anything.
Let me tell you something, Kgosi. You know what saddens me?
Yeah.
Is that we have 500 years.
Yeah.
Recorded 500 years before the existence of the Abraham of the Bible.
Yeah.
The question that I want to ask anyone and everybody out there.
And please answer if you can have the answer.
Do you want to tell me that in all of those 500 years, what is it that we were doing as black people?
Exactly.
And this is 500 years recorded. I'm not talking about the ones that are not recorded.
Yeah.
We had perfected so many things. Actually, colonization and slavery interfered with us.
With us, yes.
We did not start to exist during colonization or slavery.
Yeah.
You know, I know this is gonna be touching your cons because of you said you are a Christian.
Pilavel.
The reason why I refuse. And I grew up as a Christian. I'm a very staunch Christian, tongue-talking believer, raised by a very, very powerful man that I still respect.
Yes.
But I'm not a Christian, and I won't be a Christian.
Not anymore.
And I'm not even afraid. My young brother, when I say that, he gets scared. He gets very much worried. You can see he's concerned.
Yeah.
No, I won't.
The very one who only reads the Bible.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Can I tell you what's happening is this? Dinguchangi isuskom, which ochangisa baphuma ku ngamangwevu.
Yes.
Aphuma ngomampondomise.
Yeah.
In fact, umpondo nompondomise is brothers, which is Abambo.
Yes.
The Abambo people, they come from the Boma people, which I did mention that you find them in Angola and you find them in in Congo.
Yeah. Oh, Niki aro shebile ko YouTube ne?
Yeah.
No, shebile ko YouTube. Wala mafanas.
Show my name. Now the Boma people, they come from Kush. And if you trace the lineage of Kush, it is the lineage again whereby it's the lineage of Haile Selassie, Menelik, and you go back as far as Shalmon is concerned, a black man, not what you have as Solomon of the Bible.
Yeah.
Now, Now, your book talks about.
What about my book? It's not my book. What did the Bible say?
the Bible says? Okay.
You used to do that. It's not like a story. You used to say the Bible says.
Now listen to this. I've given you the lineage of where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
Up to Shalmon, which is there in the book. And the day I discovered and I got to understand that these are the bloodlines where we come from, because of the tribe of Shalmon among the Lemba people, it is called the tribe of Sadiq. Sadiq. Now, this is where we come from. And that makes me understand something. That means that I was born already connected to the Creator. Blessed is He. At the same time, I do not need anybody to try and teach me anything about the Creator, because of I am coming from a bloodline of people that were already connected.
Yeah.
Now, that's another reason why I fought for Indaba team.
Yes.
Because of if I can trace my bloodlines up to that far, and where I'm talking about Begunendota Ebenis Tembu, and I am a descendant of a descendant of a descendant of a descendant of that man, who are you to come with your book and hold a sermon that says to me, good man Tatis Tembu, Genza Isono? Bra, come and tell right now.
Yes.
You must be taking too much of your own shit, because at the end of the day, you are talking about my great grandfather, whom you stand in the pulpit and you quote and you teach about, and you say he was the wisest king in the world, the wisest man in the world, and all these kind of things. And I'm a descendant of that man.
Yeah.
Now, that history, I feel that becomes very much important, because that is where actually your confidence comes from. You're able to draw confidence, and that's why you are able to look at certain things. I mean, even the issue of COVID, I was looking at it, I'm like, this thing here, I'm not going to die of that.
Yeah.
There's no way. I'm not going to die of that.
How would you die of COVID?
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. How would you die of COVID? Of all the things you can die from.
Exactly. I think that when people know themselves, and this is what I'm talking about when I'm talking about knowing yourself.
Yeah.
Knowing yourself.
Yeah.
I know for a fact that there are certain things that can never happen to me.
Yeah.
Even if when you can try and say what to know, it won't happen because of the genes that I carry.
Do you
understand? Because of the genes. You know, I was involved in an accident in the beginning of this year, and then something very interesting happened to me when I was involved in that. It was the first time.
Yes.
I was driving, my company car, and it's a small car. I got bumped by another white lady.
Yes.
Driving a small car. You know what happened?
Yeah.
It was the first time I was involved in an accident, especially when head-on collision kind of a thing, And as I was getting bumped, for some reason, inside of me I started laughing. Like, hey, this is a joke, bruh. This is a joke. This is a joke. I was not scared.
Yeah.
For some reason I was calm. I was like, this is a joke. Because I'm not gonna die with this. So in the actual fact, it's just gonna be a waste of time, it's gonna be a setback. And you know what? This is really out of line. Now, when you know yourself, when you know who you are, you are not easily threatened.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter who stands in front of you. And that is why, my other friend always says, I tell you this, and then you don't listen. You understand?
You go do your own thing, yes.
Not that I don't listen, but sometimes you'll talk to me, and I'm listening to you. And I realize that this is not going to work for me.
Yeah.
When I stand up, I go and do what I want to do.
Yes.
You understand?
Yeah.
I love the statement that was said by Isilo Samabandla when he was being placed in before he was inaugurated or something. When he said,
Mrs.
the
boy.
Yeah, ati nibazwe. Kodwa ningabalaleli.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
But what he said, it was profound.
Yeah.
Nibazwe kodwa ningabalaleli.
Yes.
And you can only do that when you know who you are.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You can only do that when you know who you are, because when you do not know yourself, every wind of doctrine
will just come in
and and that is where the mistake is. Abantu abamnyama yaba confuse
Yeah.
in their religion.
Yeah.
And they forgot to go in the actual fact they had their own. And the very same religion that was brought to them came from their own. And it was not something originally that came somewhere else, but it's something that they already had. And if black people would have known that, then they would have had a stand. You understand what I'm saying?
Exactly.
But now what's happening is this: even the politics of the day, they're not solving the problem, because this is where that's the missing link. That's where the problem is.
Yes.
Because right now what we're doing is that we're looking at issues of politics and all these other things as if these are things that are going to change the scope or change the way umuntu omnyama ngakhona, and they are not going to help us with anything because of into yethu yamosheka le emuva emoyeni.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I wanna Egi, like we're thinking today religion in African context. Are we really Christians? Were we just made to be Christians? We just made we must just follow this thing that comes out from there. But remember, everything else. Let's talk about the origin of the Bible as a book. Kabuyon. Ne?
Yes.
Most of the text that was taken from here. Dead Sea Scrolls, whatever gospel, it was from Africa.
Yes.
They took it out of here. They went to Europe. Kayona. I was in
Yes.
Europe. They were like, okay, let's see, which ones, and they chose those that will protect the originality, the Catholic Church especially.
There were 660
Gnostic,
books.
Yeah,
Gnostic gospel.
of course, all those
Gnostic
things.
gospel.
Yes,
will
yes,
tell
yes.
you all about that thing that you are just explaining
Bible.
right now.
There were 660 books.
Yes.
Which
Scrolls.
which in the actual fact, for some reason, Constantine,
Yeah,
I don't know how he did it, called for a meeting.
yeah. Because all the Orthodox, whoever they
Everybody
beat out
who had a scroll had to come and give
Yeah.
it in, and listen to what they said. They said they made a prayer.
yes,
I love that. You know, this is how always got duped. They made a prayer to say that all the ones that are authentic,
they must be out of here.
the ones that are proper, they must be be recorded in the book.
Yes.
600 and something. Now, everybody left.
Yeah,
The following morning when they came back, all those scrolls were gone. Only the few that you have in the book.
in the Bible now.
The
Part of
Bible.
it. You see, now the question is, what was in those scrolls
Yeah,
Hey.
that made them feel that they will not become part of the Bible? Somebody said, I was reading one book that's at some point in time, and there's a part where it says, if they would have included everything that was in the scrolls in the Bible, listen to this now, the gist of the matter, people wouldn't have believed
Yeah.
in the existence of God.
yeah.
That is not true.
But you understand it, like
That is not true.
I don't believe in that one because
That is not true.
let me tell you what's happening
Yes,
more.
yes.
First and foremost, they didn't put in other books because remember, like I'm going to reference to Roma Catholic Church because it was the center of this whole nonsense.
Yes.
Catholic Church has made people to believe for only through the mother church they'll get to heaven.
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Only through the church, only through that's why the priests keep on forgive me, Father, for I've sinned. How can a man forgive you? The very same man is sleeping with a little boy in a convent somewhere. You understand what I'm saying? And
It's
for them,
molesting-
for them, it was
molesting
more
them.
of people must depend on. That's why Martin Luther broke away Abula Lutheran Church. That is why John Wesley left as well. Abula Wesley, the Methodist Church. A lot of people left because they were not, I'm on up here, we're no longer doing this the way it's supposed to be done. God exists. And every scripture will tell you that God is there. You understand what I'm saying? But the problem, mind control and controlling of a human being. Why is the Bible? Like you spoke about the book of Eli. People must watch that movie, the Denzel Washington movie.
Yeah.
They wanted the Bible because they knew the Bible is the most powerful book in the world that will change and dominate people and make people be compliant and back home because Bible in the olden days when it talks about slavery, they will train one slave. One slave, they make him a pastor. So this thing Bible school by 2 million.
Yes.
I think to
Yes.
But about Ruta, what they want you to go and preach.
Yes.
To your own kind to make you dominant. Do you understand? They will take a whole movie on the what freedom. I just forgot Kill Slavery movie as well. You must check it. The Birth of a New Nation. Sorry, Birth of a New Nation. Specifically on how they were able to train you. So they will train you, God, those vegetarian slaves obey your masters in heaven, on earth, like you obey the Lord in heaven. They will always make black people aspire to become pastors, to become preachers, to become anything religion. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's why no, yeah, oh,
Exactly.
factory. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Yeah, there was a question that came one time hearing. You look at someone having a cathedral, that huge building. Instead of thinking of opening up a factory in that, or warehouse. Instead of opening a warehouse for storage of anything is to make money, I'm going to open up a church. That's the black mentality we have given from the Bible. Christianity and that. The way it was implemented to us, it was used as a manipulating tool to destroy us, from taking away from us, for it's from whatever we were believing in, as if we didn't believe in Mudimuti.
Can I share something with you?
Yes.
Now let's come back to the topic at hand. Spirituality.
Yeah.
What is spirituality? This has got to do with the connection between you and your people. And I'll explain and qualify that.
Yes.
The book of Joshua, which is one of the books that has been taken out of the Bible, you find that there's something that the book of Joshua mentions, which most of us, or all of us, as black people, whether being a Nigerian, whether being a Ghanaian, whether being an Ethiopian, whatever it is, we all practice. And it is there in the book of Joshua. And as they traveled, he saw a gravesite, and when he looked, he saw the grave of where his mother was buried.
Joseph, by the way, right?
Come on, eh?
Joseph, I guess.
Yeah. Now, what is it that happened? You see, in Hebrew, there's no letter J. That's why the same thing, because of its for J
It's
for
Y.
Hebrew, it's Y.
It's Y, yes.
Joseph.
Yeshua is Jesus and not
Exactly.
Yeah.
So when he saw the grave of his mother, he ran to the grave.
Yeah.
Listen to this. Listen to this. This is black now.
Yes.
He ran to the grave. When he got there, he was crying that he's being taken, and the Ishmaelites were crying that he's being taken into slavery by people that he don't know. And the book of Joshua says, and the voice of Joseph's mother came out from the grave.
Yeah.
Not from heaven, from the grave.
Yeah.
Saying, fear not, my son.
Yes.
Go down with them, for Yah walks before you.
Yes.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, what is it that is common that black people normally do in most cases when we acknowledge those of our families who have passed on? We go to the graveside.
Go to the graves.
Yeah.
We go to the graveside. Then, listen to this. That book is taken out from the Bible. Then come now the colonizers, being it Seventh-day Adventist or whoever, and they say, thou shalt be no contact between the dead and the living, because once you are dead, you are null and void, you are no longer part of the living. They disconnect you totally from your own people.
Yeah.
From your own descendants.
So that you don't even get guidance. Even if when they will talk to you, you will ignore them, because of you are made to believe that they are demons, because of they cannot speak since they are no longer in the flesh.
Yes.
Yet the book of Joshua, which was taken out of the book, confirms that Joseph ran to the grave and the voice came out. But they don't want you to know that part. They don't want you to hear that part. What is it that they do? They tell you that, no, don't believe in that. Why? That part has been removed. Now, the question that you must ask yourself, how many other things have been removed
from this thing? Yes.
You remember
that confirms that actually these are black people?
Yeah.
You remember the other day I told you, Horing, Bible edited.
Your name
You
was
remember?
fair. It is it.
It is there are scrolls that were hidden from a black person.
Yeah.
Actually. From the whole world.
The whole world.
But they realized Uguti, black people are the strongest.
Like I said to you, the time religion is institutionalized. The time religion was institutionalized and formalized as we have it today. That was the time they decided what should be taught to people. Hence, bona Catholic Church. I'm going to reference that because that's the only thing that is to destroy everything in the Bible. They can come after me, it's fine.
Yes.
Catholic Church will have things called indulgences. What is it? Indulgences were letters sold by the church that you will be forgiven after reading. A letter, a piece of paper written by, of course, sold by the church, not given to you for free, sold by the church. And you will read it, and then from there you'll be forgiven. You go to the Father, you say, Father, forgive me if I have sinned, or if you've done my child. Or I have impure thoughts, say, okay. Hey, okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Why, but exactly. So, okay, Tamaya, when we call and say 3 Hail Marys and 5 Our Fathers and be forgiven. Thank you, Father. You do the little cross thing, then you go away. How often Tamala Honalin to indulgence? Why reka, then you take it and then you read it. And that thing's supposed to forgive your sins as well. Hence, Martin Luther wrote 95 theses and nailed them on the door. Kor akwala di tapa 95 ka Setswana a di kokotela mo le ha tswa mo go Roma re ke a tsamaya. And that's when they were hunting him like a criminal, trying to kill him because he was a heretic this time. He was no longer under the Pope's control. You understand what I'm saying? Hana bula kereke. Hana tsa Bible I translated into German. I found his first prince of German that time. Or he must read for himself the Bible. El Roma closed it from anybody else. Nobody in the Catholic Church can read the Bible.
You know,
because they were taught you cannot. Only the mother church. But they've got a book. I've seen it myself. That book is a jar. This year, it's a huge book. In the every Sunday, in its own date, its own scripture. So that man le Bible I eat Bible in Tintia. Oya kwale obala singwala you know, all that nonsense. And then they do that. And then people get duped to Hubil Kereke without the church as a formal structure. I can't even go to heaven. I can't even do anything. God doesn't like me.
Now listen,
you know, they created chaos. Yes.
Now listen to this, which is very, very interesting. That you talk about, you know, the issue of the Romans and stuff. I normally say to people, where do you think that the old Caesars went?
Yeah.
What happened? Because of
they became gods. They became the apostles.
You read about the different Caesars that came. Roma conquering the world. All of a sudden now you read about the establishment of the Roman Catholic Church.
Yeah.
So the very same Romans that were conquering the world through war, they went behind the church and used now the church to continue conquering.
You know the worst thing.
And it was more of a psychological conquering than just battle, because they realized that weapons are not working. But I want to come to this thing, Kgosi. When you talk, I mean, I've pointed out right now the issue of what happens with the grave and stuff like that, right? It's funny. I was reading somewhere, and you had a festival. I think I think it was last year. There's a festival that the Zulus they practice, which is the festival of weed. You know,
weed,
like wheat,
mabele,
yeah, and all these things. And you find that again in the Torah. I try to point out to a lot of people, umhlanga, in the book of Judges.
Yeah.
You find that in the Torah, when Japheth went to war and then he said to the Creator, the first thing that will come out of my door after I've conquered the Philistines, I'll give it to you as a sacrifice. And her daughter, and his daughter was a virgin. And when he came from war after he conquered the Philistines, what happened? The daughter came out, and as the daughter came out, he cried because of that's the only daughter that he had. And he said, alas, my daughter, you have wronged me, you have sinned, because of now you have came out and I have to give unto you to Yah as a sacrifice.
Yeah.
Now that is why the concept of mhlanga came from there, whereby once in a year, virgin daughters will have to go. Now, how is it that the Zulus and everybody else that practices that knew about it without reading the book, because of they didn't read the book, but they're doing what is in the book. Exactly. How is it? That's why there was another article that I was reading about in Facebook where this white guy, actually, they're trying to do a research, and they're saying the tribes that came down to the south, They are of Semitic. As a matter of fact, these might be some of the lost tribes.
Yeah.
And they quote the Zulus, they quote Botswana and all these things, Amaxhosa and all that, because these were many tribes. And I was glad that I so wish that can be publicized, that black South Africans specifically can read and know. And that's where my problem comes, to say, I did not need any religion. I'm already connected. This thing of yours is disconnecting me because of you are teaching me your own ideas of what must be. And you're trying to make me ignorant. I had a boy that came to me at some point. He was looking for my book, The Ultimate Colonization of Africa. And listen to this.
Yeah.
I'm talking about spirituality.
Yes.
He was raised by a couple, ugogo nomkhulu. Apparently, lo mfana washonelwa abazali. Then he's coming from KZN. We met in Southgate. And he says, the reason I'm buying your book, it is because lo gogo nomkhulu abangikhulisa, they are relatives of a family yakhe, right?
Yeah.
And then bekuno gogo la, lo gogo bekayinyanga. But because of she didn't have a place yokuhlala, so she could not practice. Wacela abantu abadala ukuthi she can no longer practice ngoba kanandawo.
Yes.
Yokuthi abeke izinto zakhe asebenze. Ngoba they were moving around renting.
Yeah.
And one day I went into the room, ngithola lo mama uhlezi embhedweni, ulele embhedweni, ubheke phezulu.
Yeah.
Lo baba uhlezi esitulweni. Uthi lo gogo uyakhuluma. But le voice akhuluma ngayo i voice yekhehla.
All right.
And lo baba uhlezi esitulweni uphendulana naye.
Yes.
And there was in that room there was a smell of tobacco.
So somebody was smoking
Ngathi bekabhema.
a better zone or a babe.
Babe or something.
Babe, yeah.
Now listen to this.
Yeah.
Uthi lo baba abuza athi ubani umfana? And then lo mkhulu aphendula athi no, umfana sihamba naye sibuya naye eNatal. Washonelwa abazali. Then uthi le khetla likhuluma through logogo ukhuphula logogo.
Yeah.
Lithi le khetla lo mfana ngabe uyamazi yini ugogo wakhe? Lo mkhulu aphendula athi angazi. Le khetla lithi akubuye la mfana. Athi yamazi ugogo wakho. Aphendula, so now this boy who's answering lo mama. Uthi ugogo angimazi washona ngisesemncane ngizange ngimbone. Uthi hayi ugogo wakho unathi la ufunana nawe. Uma ufuna ukukhuluma naye.
Yeah.
Wamtshela the color of candles that he must have as khanyise uma ufuna ukukhuluma nogogo wakhe. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Now, guys, come on. Now, lo muntu okhuluma la yikhehla emzimbeni womuntu wesifazane. And labantu laba thina sithi bahambi. I'm talking about spirituality.
So she was speaking, so you are speaking through this girl.
This old lady.
Yes.
This old
Yes.
lady.
Oh, sorry.
I'm talking about spirituality. I'm not talking about religion. I'm not talking about Christianity and your religion.
I'm with you.
And all of your bullshit.
I'm with you. Yeah, some bullshit. Well.
I'm talking about real stuff. I'm talking about real stuff. You wanna call it demons or what? You see, when you wanna call it demons, it's because of you are being ignorant of the fact that
You're being indoctrinated into saying
How does it
your own
happen?
people are like
now
that.
listen to this. Listen to this. Another day, le ntwana ibuya esontweni because of bekaya esontweni angithi yabona umntwana. Makabuya, the same thing has happened. Lo mama, she's in a trance. Le khehla libuyile liyakhuluma.
And their voice is like the guy, the old man.
Yeah, the old man. Lithi kule ntwana. Lithi hayi siyanibona niyahamba niya emasontweni.
Yeah.
Lithi nifuna izulu. Lithi kodwa thina into esimangazayo la. Sibona ilanga nesibhakabhaka.
Yeah.
Mfo. And remember,
Exactly.
and remember this. The very same book that we read, which is the Bible.
Yeah.
What does it say when Abraham was dying? Abraham says, I go to my forefathers. What is it that David said when he was dying? I go to my forefathers. Everybody that came, when they will leave, they will tell you, I go the way of the world. I am going to my forefathers. They are not saying we are going in a place where there's a street made of gold and big, massive houses. They say, I go to my forefathers.
Where are they? Where are those forefathers?
Yes.
Somebody can ask that question. Where are they then?
And I'm coming there. Now, listen to this.
Mapel, when I comment I I'll buy a comments on Matapel. I think there's
Okay,
something.
stroke your
And then from there, we're going to go to advert. Advert the other day, Kgosi FM.
Stroke your butt.
Yeah, not very obvious.
Mathapelo.
Mm.
I guess it's a little bit.
Yeah, but read the good class, especially.
Okay.
When I learn New Testament has been fabricated, then you go down with it. The other ones have read this.
Hence, I say the New Testament is fabricated.
Bana ba ya wona malatiana o mbotsi.
Ai, tlamele lo ena o bala ka nomkhonula mos.
Me bra ke mo I'm 45. Hello. What do you expect? Happen that my years are gone, literally. Look at this white hair on my head.
Look at the gray.
Kids somewhere.
Kgosi.
Kids. What do you want?
Yeah, Kgosi.
What's that? Just na muro wa ito. Na nalo no tlit ka tlhoba.
Hey, check my hair.
Ah, why? Ahora silo mo.
Check, bro. Check. You wanna see?
Okay.
If I open here, you will be
Yeah.
shocked.
Ne. I really vet.
They knew that our strongest weapons are our traditions, so the best thing they thought of was to weaken us by making us leave our tradition behind.
Exactly.
Okay. Another question I always asked mine. Before all these things happen, right? Before they formalize religion and before they formalize Budumedi, what were Africans doing?
Look. I want to.
And anybody else in the world, by the way.
Okay.
Why what?
Can I finish up my story?
Yeah,
okay,
yeah, please.
Finish
Can I
it
finish up my
up.
story? Now,
Please do.
Now, let me tell you something. What I'm trying to explain to you is this. This is what we're talking about when we're talking about spirituality.
Yeah.
The connection between you and your people.
Yes.
Because when you depart here, you are going to your people.
Where are they?
Now, yes.
I want to know where those people are. I want to go there and see them.
No, Uzobabon. Now listen to this. Now I met this other guy. We were talking, and I was selling my book, The Missing Link, and and he says to me, and bro, you know, there's certain things when they happen. Doesn't matter how strong you are, doesn't matter where you are. When the truth is being said, I mean, I met this guy for the first time, and when he gave his testimony, we both cried like babies. I couldn't hold it. And he says, Nick, you talk about Ndaba Klushwa Sibongo. He explains, okay, fine, he was raised by Asebenzisa Sibongo Sika Mama Wake because of apparently, apparently umama wake was married, and then from there wahamba waba pregnant with another man, and then he came back, and lo baba lobeka shatu mama wake wamthatha wamkhulisa as umntwana wakhe because of already umama wake bekasemshadweni when she went out. So ukhula ngalesi sibongo, but he discovered ukuthi no man. Yeah, ubabakhe ulo owaphrekisa umama wakhe esemshadweni. So he wanted to revert kulesiyana. It was like zahlanga kabuhlungu.
Eish.
Horabole to original surname.
Yeah, you wanted to go to the original surname.
Yeah,
Original
surname.
Then they're because of that.
Yeah, they're because of la umama wakhe wayeshadwe khona. Angithi umama wakhe waphuma.
Yes.
Wamthola ngaphandle wabuya.
Yeah.
So manje lo baba ngoba
I'm adopted in the way.
yeah,
To make it easy.
Yes.
So ukhula ngalesibongo salo baba.
All right.
Now he wants to change lesi sibongo.
To go back to his father's one.
Kulesaka babakhe.
Then what happened?
Exactly. Into zakhe zahlanga.
Because of that.
Because of that.
Okay.
Now listen to this. During COVID, this guy, he had a short death. The guy that I'm talking to.
The stepfather. Oh, this
guy,
boy.
Yeah.
Yes.
This guy. He's a businessman. Nick, what happened, I saw myself leaving the body. And I walked and I walked. Listen to this. And I walked. And you know sometimes when you when Uma Umuntu Omoya, even though sometimes you can have ignorance, but certain things when are being said, you can actually pick up that this is a fact, this is true.
Yeah.
And I walked, but what was fun is that as I was walking, I was hearing people singing.
Yeah.
I'm coming now to what you are saying.
Yeah.
I'm hearing people singing, but there's golden grass and then mountains, proper, clean, pure. You understand?
That's heaven, Bafan.
Now listen to this. Listen to this. And they're singing behind the wall, behind the mountains.
Yes.
But then as I move forward, I realized that
Okay.
by light. And as I continue moving forward, it's like now I'm starting to float. I hear a voice move a kehla. Le kehla likhuluma noma umamakhe is late. Likhuluma nomamakhe. lithi akuhambe uyotshela lokho okuncane kwenkani ukuthi kujike kungazi la ngoba isikhathi sazo isikhathi saka awukakafiki asikakafiki ngoba nyamazi ukuthi unenkani uzofuna ungena la at immediately when he heard that voice yakhehla he saw his mother aza and she was like floating and inwele zakhe bezinde athi my son ufunani la isikhathi sakho asikakafiki and then he was busy and there was something maybe separated like some water or something and he was saying ukuthi please buyele move isikhathi sakho asikakafiki and he was busy fighting with mama ngifuna ukuza ku athi no as he was fighting there was a small light like the sun right at the back and this light was increasing and the mother when he turned he saw the light what ungabheki don't look and she turned and she looked into that light and she bowed down at immediately in fact that was so emotional at immediately when that happened he saw something dragging him and then he woke up
now,
so
that is heaven.
Wait.
See what I got.
Wait. The point is this the heaven that we have in our minds it is angels with wings
white clothing
and that's the concept. I'm telling you, if you say to
it is a concept.
If you say to a Christian, paint for me your concept of heaven. You understand? That's what they will show you.
Yeah.
But here, this person is going back to his ancestors. He's going back to his own people. You see, guys, this is very, very deep because until you understand that the umbilical cord that you have when you're born as a child means something.
Yeah.
Whether you become ignorant of your mom, you become ignorant of your parents, the bottom line is that that umbilical cord does not break.
Yeah.
You are connected to them for life. And the idea that says that these people are demons, these people are not part of us, it is null and void.
Yeah.
We were told that so that we can disregard and ignore the very same people that wake up with you and help you every day to conquer your battles.
And the power that is in there.
Yeah. All right.
The connection that is in there.
Yes. Okay, let's take a break a little bit here. Now, very good advertising, one.
Yeah.
Repatriate this money. This money that comes to come inside here. This show is brought to you by Sohwana Medical Services and Clinic. They are a private clinic situated in number 70 Tuefengesgras in Westview, Danville. They specialize on the following: primary health care, ailment diagnosis and treatment, including medication, wound care, family planning, well baby clinic, basic ultrasound, laboratory blood services, treatment of chronic illnesses, treatment and management of patients on ARVs, wellness screening, antenatal clinic, HIV services and counseling. They have a pharmacy on site and they are doing CCMDD services as well, OHS clinic, circumcision clinic and abortion services. Their cell phone number is 064 548 7176 or 071 422 8576. Again, the address is 70 Tuefengesgras in Westview, Pretoria West in Danville. Cell phone number again is 064 548 7176 or 071 422 8576. Yes, you want a similar advertisement for your business? Let us know on 064 548 7176. The number is here. Ash. On the screen, that's the number that you must contact, and then I'll let it so okay, I want this similar advert for my business, and we will do it for you because this show is on every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Wednesday we take a break, to reconcile everything else. Saturday, we don't have any shows. And then Sunday, we have the other ones that you know of. So all this advert will be played along those platforms. And believe me, people are watching, people are listening. So, about how phone or hey, then you are doing this. Kgosi FM, the show is the Kgosi live show. We're talking about spirituality today. Kiwale Nick Jiblika, our spiritualist, and our resident Maine, and then I'm with the Queen as well.
Sure.
Resident Maine, and he's here. Someone is not here, but is watching us through what YouTube, as he said. So please comment there on Facebook. Those who are watching on Facebook now live. Matapelo, thank you, Madali. I've seen other people that have joined us on Facebook. Chweni Modimola, thank you for watching with us. Vasan Makumbani, thank you for watching with us as well. Yeah. So you guys can please comment and tell us what you think. Right? We are not here to take to you religion. Modimo thing. Are being clear. Let's say it like Modimo thing. Just what thing. You know, no one is taking anyone from anything. The problem with when people came with this thing of by concept as Christianity, they came with it and then they destroyed everything else and they made the center. This is what's supposed to be happening. Hey, what. When you, but Modimo, like the kingdom of God is inside you.
Yes.
It's not in a person. It's not in a book. It's not in a building. Inside you. When? That's the other book of entity. It was written in Aramaic. Jesus Christ, his own native language. They took it out because of that. Because the Catholic Church knew, or if they will say to people, the kingdom of God is similar, people will never worship the church.
Exactly.
People will never go through the church to get anything else. However, at the moment, anybody will rush to it. You see, like this verse here, the Good Samaritan, Bible, where a guy was beaten on the road, right? And I remember this thing came to me one way back. I was back home. So this guy was sick. And I was going to church. Every day I would go to church on Wednesdays, Mondays, and whatever. And this voice would say to me, what's a fitting mother man of Monica spit before Yakada? Could like a Thomason. My sister came with this other lady, right? So the lady came to me. I was thinking, can you come and maybe pray for her? Maybe she'll be fine. Because they knew I was a Christian, right? And that time I was supposed to go to church, Jimmy, Agnes. And I'm in a worship team on stage. And I'm like, can I come after church? Do you understand?
Yes.
Can I come after church? Because I thought church was that, not you. You are church. You know, I'm like, no, I'll come after church. Okay, no, I went to church. I was 80. I go straight there. When I got there, but they were just, and we did what we did. I prayed. They left. Then Motiling, this voice says to me, clearly, whatever I'm doing, it's not going to have any effect on what happened. The effect is supposed to be done when you went the first time. Check the Good Samaritan or what happened, right? This guy was walking, like the other Bible is saying, and he was beaten by people, mostly, right? And he was laying there bleeding and everything. Who came first? The Levi. The person who carries the Ark of the Covenant. He comes, he was on the way to the synagogue or the temple. He comes and he passes this person. I'm going to church. An injured, bleeding person on the road.
Wow.
Do you understand? Few minutes later comes the priest, the higher one above the Levi. Got the modern language. A deacon, a deaconess.
Yes.
Or elder kereke. Bafeta motalo ala anal epilepsy or whatever wrong thing in today's modern times.
Yes.
Barawa kena kwa kereke Sunday you have to go to church.
Yes.
The bishop of the church himself. This poor person crying mola ko chelete. I'm going to church. We're back at the modern times. You understand what I'm saying? To show the hypocrisy of how people structure this thing into thinking, this is it. These other ones, no. Hence the demon thing about demo, the demon thing about Holbarina and whatnot that happened. Hence, by hearing, respect your mother and father so that your days will be longer in the world. It didn't say when they're still alive. Understand? It says respect them, regardless. Fine. So what came after that? A Samaritan came, who was an enemy to this person. Do you understand? We should be this thing. An enemy of this person saw the need to do what two people could have done by religious things. Amotia, amisako hoteling, pamutapisa, amfapadinto, ampatala even extra. Even if he needs to stay extra, he has the money for that. Do you understand what I'm saying? So this verse says to me, your neighbor, what do you do when Kgosi, if let's say you have to leave on Sunday to go to church in the morning, and your neighbor says, listen, would you mind coming here and let's have a talk? You know, come and pray for me. And I got thinking, child, any Christian can answer me now. What would you do? Rona, as born again Christians, we're going to stop. Believe you me, we're going to be praying in tongues and casting out demons because we're saying the devil wants me to stop from going to church, which is a lie. It's an indoctrination. The church is the very neighbor how. That is the church.
Wow.
Christianity people bought it more in that context that it's like how it is today. People will rush to church as Bible. People thought, heaven, what kind of a God are you going to pray to? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Hello.
So that is how it was destroyed.
Yes.
So people mustn't think we are here to best. No, I'm a Christian myself. And I've always been like that. I've always been, why are we doing this? Why is this like this? But no, I can't bishop so and why but change dipina from uje so ya le bar postile ya but literally by sutamu why do we do that? They were like, I can't impostola here and I was called what I'm not haki bruru or feliti. You see?
How do mela ina?
I want to come into the issue just to explain something to the listeners out there.
Wow.
And some of the viewers. When you talk about the Levite,
Yes,
it's sad, man. It's sad how this knowledge or this information, not many people have it.
yeah.
Do you know who's Levi? Levi
Was one of the sons, one of the sons.
Exactly. Levi, kiba bo Raulika, bo Hamis, bo Sadik,
Okay.
bo Chirwa.
Yeah.
All these is the tribe of Levi. They were bearers of the ark.
Yes.
They came from Sena. They used to be called Basena. And they were led by a star. And eventually the star landed in the mountains of Berengwa
Yes.
in Zim.
Yeah.
And from there, others, they crossed over to it's in Berengwa, and I forgot this other place, but among the vendors.
Yeah.
They are the ones who taught the vendor people the laws of circumcision.
Okay.
Now, there's been a lot of research, and there's a lot of other tribes that broke away.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, now listen to this. This is my problem. Here we are, the original, authentic people
Yeah.
of the very same book.
Yeah.
Yes.
Somebody else comes with a different skin color. Blonde.
Yeah. Blue eyes.
What
To come and
green
teach
eyes?
To come and teach me
You're
about
very-
who I am.
Your very own Bafadas.
You know, it doesn't make sense to me. And we celebrate that, and we embrace that, and we feel that, you know what, something is happening. And but tobacco butsangabona baphasa.
Yeah.
Yes.
Baphasa.
Yes.
Waberisa sniff, mbepo, and all these things. What everybody does. When they go and they call upon their ancestors, they go secretly so. If ever you are not part of them, the same thing I've seen in Makosa, umaslangana, the way ihamba ngakhona, ihamba in a particular way. Do you understand what I'm saying? There are certain things umasizenza, it must only be us as ifamily or isdugo estile.
Yes.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
Now, all this is scripture. This is scripture. When I go home kwenza umsebenzi, kuyaxhentswa, kwenzekani? Bese kuvuka umoya. Kuzokhuluma ugogo thize. Kuzokhuluma ikhekhe thize. It's a family. Bashaya isiguqu. You understand what I'm saying? Asikho esontweni. Now umoya uyavuka. Ikhekhe liyakhala likomplaina ngalokhu, ugogo uyakhala ukomplaina. Ngisekhaya. And I looked into that. I said, God, this is church.
Yes.
This is my family.
Yes.
Then what the fuck was I doing out there?
You understand?
What the fuck was I have this in my house. I have this at home. And this is the longest it has existed before even the Bible was written.
And then ugogo uyakhala, umkhulu uyakhala. And we are talking about the ancestors, right?
Exactly. Bayakhuluma.
And then they are talking
they're
through
saying their complaints.
the living.
Yeah, they're saying their
Through
complaints.
the ones that are living.
Mntwana lungisa this.
Yes.
Kudala ngixelela ngithi ningenzi 1 2 3. Now lo muntu akasekho ukhuluma to
Yes.
somebody and ngapha kuyaqhetswa.
Yes,
Kuyaqhetswa. And then he will say ukuthi ngangichilo ngathi kutheni umntana nimenza ngohlobo nohlobo. And I look into this thing, I'm like, but then why do I have to go to church? I mean, this is what I need.
And it's at home.
Laphayana ngizoshayela ogene. Then kumele kufuma lethu kuyaculwa. Mina that's why I say church is just a social gathering. It's a social gathering. That's how it is. It's a social gathering. We are just there to be motivated, because right now the pastors are motivational speakers and I'm there to make good contacts for business. And that's what happens after church. People, they shake hands and they make good contacts. They're giving each other deals. It's like going to a golf course. But at the end of the day, there is nothing that connects you whatsoever. What is being done, kaikini, ngabakini, that's what matters the most. And that is why you need to understand the issues of lineage, what we call pedigree.
Yeah.
It's very much important.
And a lot of black South Africans are cut off from that because of the very same system. Or the very same social gathering.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Those 4 walls.
Exactly.
Called church. They will pass as someone there, lying, bleeding there.
Yeah, Arike
About to
Akirike.
die. Arike Akirike.
Yeah.
Okay, Satani, Onyagorekes
Yeah,
Kara
one
Akirike,
Tibela
Noko
Motileng.
Stopoya Akirike.
Yeah.
You, how?
No, the thing is, what's Shepa? Like I said, people, this whole thing, yeah. And like people don't know what the word Christianity came from. Let me just try to explain that. Christianity was never Christian, by the way. Jesus was never a Christian.
Somebody
Right?
once told me that.
He was never a
No, he was
Christian.
not.
Somebody
He was not.
once
not.
told me that.
The word Christian came from Antioch. The people of Antioch called the apostles Christians because they were with Christ.
This is the reason.
That's
why.
the only reason why the word Christianity came into the whole thing. It was never there, Jesus. One understand. So anyway, it's fine. We adopted it. It's okay. Never. Any religion that will change my name. 1, that will change my dress code. 2, that will change my language. That's not a religion of God. I'm gonna leave. Islam, you go there, become Salim, Muhammad, Abdul.
Yeah.
If
yeah.
I lamu,
They
you
give
have
you
no-
that.
and all those things. Because I believe
And the
So-
way you are.
Hey, so I will never be able to. I will never change because by religion
I want to fit
change.
in.
That one, adoption as somebody else's religion and somebody else's
Exactly.
belief and
Yes.
tradition, and then now can be part of that. So, we're never supposed to do that. They're supposed to enhance what we had.
Yes.
As Africans, they're supposed to enhance what we have as Africans, and we move in that. And then, okay, let's say for example, his own knowledge before education. There's a difference, I get. So education is supposed to enhance the knowledge of
Exactly.
not to erase the knowledge and put something else. Indoctrinating a child into something so on. So religion was supposed to do that. Instead, they used it to make sure they oppress you. They tell you, don't ever master riches for yourself on heaven, on earth. Master your riches in heaven, and then there'll be streets of gold paved. I don't know what to use this money, because money was our in our own invention. And then comes Tabaya. The Hori, slaves, obey your masters on earth as you will obey the Lord in heaven, and your reward will be in heaven. Blah blah. All those things, they're in the Bible.
And
But
who's
they
the
did not
master,
mean,
by the way?
the master key, the slave owner. But they
Thank
didn't mean
you.
use it for your own benefit, Jibilika. Luena. Or everybody, I'm going to say this one. But now their own way of
Exactly.
twisting things to benefit them. And it's wrong. You understand what I'm saying? It's very much wrong, Horano. Just because you can know something which will be more for now, like, I don't know it in a way. Now, because instead of helping me to be able to achieve that, you use that to your own benefit.
Exactly.
He said something very important.
Yeah.
I just didn't want to disturb him. Africans before the Europeans came,
Yes.
how were they surviving? How were they not connected with the Creator, which is God?
Of course we were.
We were.
Yes, we were.
And then, no sina malweti, naliti.
Yeah.
Africans could heal them.
Mm-hmm.
That thing connection umbilical cord, ne?
Yes.
Or it will never, ever break.
Yes.
As long as you keep it alive.
Yeah.
Ne?
Yeah.
Ufeta ulela something very important right now, or everybody una le moy. And then he mentioned horing go high, heso partly and everything. Bo gogo le bumkhulu ba thoma ho bolela ba re no do this ba khalemela actually ba lokisa deposits ba di bonang tse di rehalang amongst their
children,
understand? And isn't that moya obulela? Because when you are connected to your roots, your ancestors, then they can use you to correct this chaos that is happening in front of them.
Yeah, so
even though they are on the other side.
Yeah.
So they are using the living to communicate, to bring forward the message they want to bring.
Yeah.
Can I qualify what you're saying?
Mm-hmm.
You see that part that you're talking about, whereby they are able to do things and speak through you. I want to show you something now when it comes to the Kabbalah, which is basically the mysticism or the power, which it has been coined as Ubuloi. Now, this you see in my operation and in my work in terms of writing and selling books, I meet all types of people. This guy, we were talking, and he tells me about his grandfather. That's the father before his father. He says, my grandfather, bekakhona eshibhini. Athi diamond umathola ningabekanga utshwala bakhe. Makajika aphuma.
Yeah.
Bonke ubutshwala okhona la ngithi ngithengala utshwala. Bonke bebubola.
Boloyi. Hey.
Listen. Wait, listen. Bebubola. Now listen to this. Athi he will sleep. Imvula inetha, lalele khona. Inetha around. Now, let me ask you something. Doesn't that sound like Elijah?
Well, Elijah had those powers, yes.
You see?
Yeah.
Does that sound like Elijah?
Yeah.
Does that sound like Elisha?
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, this is what happens.
But man.
Listen to me. Listen to me.
These things did happen before.
Yeah.
And then it was cut by this system.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The very same system we are talking about.
Listen to this. This is what happens. This is the power that the other people are scared of. This is what happens when black people are connected to their ancestors.
Yeah.
Mysticism, things that you cannot explain. And that is why it became very crucial to say, change their way of belief and channel them into something that is not working so that they can be weak. Because this kind of... I mean, I'm not ashamed to say it. I mean, I'm saying it. I don't know how many viewers are there. Come on, my mom.
Yeah.
Bona, the same thing.
Babethaka liru. Bua ka Sotho ba utlupila thoba. Bua ba bolela.
Babethaka liru.
Yeah, ba loy.
Kanjani.
Babethaka maru. Wena o ntse bo bethaka tladi. Ha o itse kae?
Exactly.
Yeah. Bo ratha ka tladi wa thoba ba loka.
Now that doesn't sound like Elisha.
It sounds like a witchcraft, that one.
What is witchcraft?
Wait. No, let me tell you something. But the point is this.
Yeah.
There is a lot of powers that get to be manifested when we are connected. Let me show you another thing. Ukhoza.
Yeah.
The man called Kgosi, among Amashangan. Actually, I think it's a Tsonga.
Yes,
Kgosi.
Yeah.
The Spanish wrote a book about him. Kgosi could draw fire from the sun.
Yes.
Draw fire from the sun. He was a strong traditional healer. Now, I'm going to show you another thing. Just Evendela. I just forgot the name of the place. There is a river.
Yeah.
It crosses like this. When the king in the area there dies, the river turns red, like blood red.
Yeah.
They will not inaugurate any other king until it clears. Again, the The natives of the place, which is mostly the natives of Van, I'm not talking about the Lembas and everybody else. They were like about people, these people with the surnames about Neshitanje, ne. Those are the natives. Those are the people that named the land after them. They were there first. Apparently, history has it that these guys, what they will do, after they had buried their dead for a period of 2 years, they will go and dig them up, and then they will burn the bones and take the ashes and throw them to the bushes. Now, when white folks arrived in the area and they were trying to bring in some form of what you call civilization or building, when they will hit the trees will turn into snake. Bona, everybody kappa, they turn into snake.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, if they would bring a bulldozer and it hits that tree, it will be stuck there for years.
That bulldozer,
Exactly.
right? Yeah.
That's the Kabbalah. That's the mysticism.
Can give magic. Give magic or
You know what Christians say? You know what Christians say? When they read such kind of things in the Bible, but it's miracles.
Those things give me miracles.
No, but it's miracles. But
It happens to Africans.
Witchcraft.
Who said Gibolo?
You know when I grew up, what he's saying. When I grew up, when I started going in the church, we were told that actually Africa was the root of witchcraft. They named it witchcraft, yet its power, yet more now when they practice it, they call it miracles.
Yeah.
Yes.
But in the actual fact, the point that I'm trying to drive home is this. When black people are rightfully connected between them and their own, and there is that relationship between you and your ancestors, there are certain things that when they happen, nobody can explain. Umswati.
Mswati the king.
Yeah,
That place called Venda where the two rivers meet.
I forgot the name of the place, but the Venda people, they know it.
Hey, Mewe,
and they know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
They know what I'm talking about.
That river thing that crosses and whatnot.
In fact, I have a vendor friend in put the story. I'm gonna narrate it.
And these things, they didn't happen in the Middle East. They are happening here.
Yes.
Yeah. Now listen to this. Umswati.
The king.
Yeah. Umswati, before it gets to be a king, I don't know what happened with this young boy here. I think they messed him up big time.
But also a sing worker, the father to this one.
Low. Umswati, what will happen is this. I remember I was talking to one guy. He's part of the inner circle. There are rituals that are done to connect the king to the ancestors.
Yes. Yes.
And these rituals is to make sure that you can hear. Remember, our kings were never chosen based on bloodlines from Kemet. Our kings were chosen based on how well are you connected with the next realm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Can you get information? Can we get guidance through you? So in the actual fact, the one who will assume kingship will be quote unquote a prophet, someone who can see.
In a way, yeah.
Now, there are rituals that are done to connect you. Umswati, you can plan. They will tell you about they've done it many times to say umsusa. There was a time they placed a bomb, and the same thing happened even with his father Sopusa. With the then government. They had placed a bomb in a particular bridge that they knew to While he was with his driver, he told his driver, he said, don't take this route, go this way.
Yeah.
Immediately when they took the other route,
the bridge collapsed.
The bridge exploded. Usopuza, in the then government, when they wanted to assassinate him, they had bombs plugged in a stadium when he was about to hold a meeting. When he arrived there, he knew. He said, don't go in. I'll show you something. Send the dogs. When the dogs went in, the stadium exploded. Now, how do they know these people? And this is the point. This is where now the African power lies. That's why I'm talking about the missing link. How do you get to know these things before they happen?
Yeah.
black people, when they are connected, because your own
With their
ancestors,
roots.
they will inform you. That's why if you look at even the movie Shaka, what is it that Shaka will do when he goes to war? Before he goes to war, he goes in the caves to meet with his people. And they will tell him how the war is going to look like, what's going to happen tomorrow. And that is how even the Xhosas, they were able to conquer the British without guns, using spears. Because Unsikane will know, Uguti, tomorrow they're going to come this direction. They're going to be like this. Let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, let me ask you a question.
Yes.
Doesn't that sound like your scriptures in the Bible? When David goes to war and God will say to him, wait underneath the leaves of the trees. And he says, wait still and listen. He says, when you hear the footsteps as if it's footsteps of people walking on top of you, then you shall shout victory because I, the Lord, have gone before you. Now, this is what I'm talking about. This is what black people were capable of. When they are connected, their ears can be glued up. Their ears can hear. When they are eating the right food, the
third eye.
the third eye can operate and they can see.
Yeah.
But now the problem is this. Over the years, we've been compromised.
Yes.
And people want to come and talk about religion. I will tell you right now, whoever that is listening out there is a difference between religion and spirituality. Spirituality is about being connected 24 hours, being able to hear when they speak to you, being able to recognize when they guide you, when they tell you where to go, what time to go there, what is happening. And when you are like that, believe you me, whether I can take you and put you in the desert, you will always be at the right place at the right time for right things to happen. But once that part of you has been disconnected, that's when poverty comes in, lack comes in, frustration comes in, because there's no guidance.
Yeah. All right. Mama Kgosi, yeah, he's just haitika ione ya dino ka tsepedi, but she knows ka the Fundudzi sacred lake. I don't know if it's the same thing now.
Okay?
Yeah, she knows about the Fundudzi section. What's happening in the social, will tell us if the same thing that happens. Maybe the same one. Yeah.
You must also read Matapela's comment.
Mara go tlabela ka Setswana kana nong batho ba teng and nna matsapa. Matapelo are batho ba bang ba messed up. Are batho ba bang ba rena ba messed up ka nnete. La tlhaloganya ke re ke la ya about the same miracle boloi ba Kgosi.
Oh, that is why you were laughing. That is why you were laughing.
Boloi ba Kgosi, we spoke about when Moses was told to drop his stick. That turned into a snake. The same burning bush. Boloi ba Kgosi. That spoke to Moses.
I can give you, like I said, a friend of mine once told me a story.
Yes.
There was this ngaka, ne, strong kwa. Hona ko venda kwa during that war, ne, batra hota this land, ne.
Yeah.
He but fita, and then that guy, ne, the traditional healer, ne. He couldn't find someone who's suitable. Agraba, hona lento my bizarre this drum.
Yeah,
Drum by Lizang, his badira, their rituals and everything. That drum, Naka El, Odla Achekane, Horing, Akaidra, powerful Ubian. He couldn't get the suitable thing, Yakai Berikisang, except Horing, but let Allah high.
The skin, his skin.
His skin.
Yeah.
Ne?
Yeah.
They took, he made a sacrifice of himself, and he was so powerful again. He was so powerful. He was so connected.
Now,
how do you take someone's skin?
Listen.
I'm going to tell you something.
Listen. That guy was so connected, and
yes.
Especially Govenda, that one it
Mulimis.
Yeah, sort of, yes, that kind. Ne?
Yeah.
That guy, abona no. The only thing yakai dirang hore ba khono win this war. Ke go he ba ka tsa skin sa hae. Ne? So he sacrificed himself, and then aipolaya. Hore ba abalaela hore ba tsa skin se ba dira.
Ba le moropo ka sona, yeah.
And then he will act. Exactly. You know,
Babita?
Gudulangum, I think. Yeah.
And then body let that drum kind. And then when those people came, with their guns and everything, the vendors, they took that drum that was made out of his skin.
Human skin.
Now, okay.
Matoma basibeta. And then they did their ritual and everything. Hebasibeta, those people slept, all of them, and then they took the guns away from them.
I wanted to
showed them the road. That is how the vendors fought, won.
I wanted to tell you something.
Okay.
Now,
That is why vendor was not part of
South Africa. Now,
Yes.
now, let me tell you something in regard to what you're saying. You see, what you're saying now, you're talking about a recent thing that happened now.
Yeah.
Now, do you know that from where they came from? Let me put it like this: the ark itself, there were two arks that were made. I'll quote the people that they know that were made by Moshe. There was the golden ark, and then there was the ark that was made of a cassia wood. And that cassia wood ark was covered with a human skin. So what actually that traditional healer was doing, he was exercising knowledge that he knew from back then. Because that one that was covered with a human skin, we don't even know back then whose skin was that.
Yeah.
Suspicion is that it might have been the skin of Moshe himself. Because of when they will beat it once, people will sleep.
Yes.
When they beat it twice, people will die. Now they use that to come down to the south, moving from Sena. Now that is why when that traditional healer was instructing them to do that, he was actually tapping into the knowledge that already he knew. Again, that is in the Torah. Then now here I'm telling you something that happened with black people in Venda. I'm going to ask you again another question. Same question. Who are the Jews? Who are the Hebrews? Why are we becoming so stupid? Why are we becoming so stupid? Evidence is right in front of us.
Bapedi ba lisha pula. Bapedi ba lisha pula. Do you know that? Yes.
Yes, we know that one.
Yes. How do they do that?
Kibuloi.
Okay. How? And then when it's done by blacks, it's
No, I'm
witchcraft.
kidding. I know
I'm just saying.
It's not
Bapedi ba
about.
lisha pula.
Yeah.
Queen Mujaji, it's well known of Onisha Pool.
Yes.
And then even the celebrate drama somewhere on TV.
Yes.
They will take a stone
Yeah.
from the queen haba tlhokofala.
Bia makipila before go back.
Okay, sorry. He queen haba tlhokofala
Yeah.
Beba emela queen from the
Gore e khwele tapale.
it tlo shwa.
Okay.
It tlo shwa mola, and then they will take the stone from that crocodile. Batlo no ikreshule mola.
Yeah.
Then they will know hore batlo e bula bantsha letlapalele. Then the descendant o tlabe shetse ba le sure hore is the rightful one. Wakani sampula. And they will know because akere ba trainer.
Yes.
And akano bana le bana ba several ne. But now but wa motlhatlhamang ba tlo mmona.
Okay.
Lenga e tlo bontsha hore ko mo feng.
Okay, now yes.
But ne akere bo shi wa bakiwa wa tsena. But then now ngaka itlo ba botsa ko mo feng. And then ene ke ena tlo metsa letswika lela le letswang ka mohara kwena. And then ke ena tlo re habitsa pula.
Can I share something with what she's saying?
Yes, sir.
Now, all these things that we're talking about, every group of black people, they will tell you their own stories of miracles of the Kabbalah. Now, let me come here. God, Yahweh, He is known by each and every black person, and he is called in different names.
Yes.
You can never say that those powers, they came from some evil. But the mind of the colonizer, this is what they did. They tried to centralize the concept of God as one God who revealed himself only in one group of people.
Yeah, which are white people in Israel.
Exactly. Why?
Yeah.
Why? Because then they wanted to demonize everything that we are talking about today. Now, a fool, when he's listening, will say that all these things that we are talking about, these are demons manifesting themselves among black people.
And most Zach.
Exactly.
Not knowing that actually this power does not come from demons, it came from the Creator.
Yes.
Wali, Ukamata, Unkulu, same person. Now, this whole that's the thing about colonizing. You know, being colonized sometimes you fail to think. Now, all of a sudden, it's okay when it comes from this group of people because they're the only ones who are holding the name of God. Now, all Tina Maskulma Ngezetu, Zamakosa, Zamavenda, and all Abatswana, whoever, things that people have seen and experienced. Manifesting themselves, and that's what my younger brother believes, that kind of a thing.
And it was the secret, the power that the black people had.
Remember what happened back in the days. What will happen is that and almost everybody is down. So when there's drought, or maybe there is a sickness that is destroying the people, bagqoke traditional izinto zabo khuchuka intaba kuyobikwa uma kufuneka imvula after baqeda ukubika mabehla imvula yabalandela
exactly
uma kunokugula uma bayobika uma behla the sickness stops. Now that's how we lived. Where did we get this power? Where did we get this power? That is the reason why I'm telling you right now, listen to me carefully. I'm not a Christian and I will never be a Christian and I don't want to be a Christian and I won't go to church and I'll never be in church.
African.
I'm an African man. I'm a Hebrew of Hebrews. You know, at the end of the day, when you hear these things and about all this evidence and you go and read the Torah and you find there's similar miracles that happened here. The question that I want to ask you, why do we want to take this and accredit it to one thing, to one group of people and nullify everything else that other people have experienced?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's called hypocrisy.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. 064-548-776. Can I come on? 9:30. Yeah. Idea we are in studio today. Nick Jibilik is here. Agnes Khobiani is here as well. We talk the religion in the African context. Have you been duped as Africans to forget what we are as original people, or what? You understand? In a sense, we have been told what you are doing is evil, is demonic, is wrong. And by the way, Christianity does not mean God. Link with the bill. Now, but I understand Christianity was never was never there. Budimudimo was there from the beginning. The word Christianity came after the apostles were seen in another country, and those people called them that because they were with Christ.
Exactly.
That's how Christianity, the word Christianity, came out to be.
As a matter of fact, it was many years after Christ had left. And they just saw how they behave, and they said, these are Christ-like. Exactly.
And Christ is not even the name, by the way. It means is a Greek word meaning anointed one. You understand? So people must not say Jesus Christ in the no. It's not. That is a suffix. People are supposed to be Christ Jesus, anointed one Jesus. If you understand, but say by as if it's the name and surname. You understand? So Africa has always had its own belief. Africa has always have a belief in something. We is it now always fought for the so-called civilization who we are giving civilization. How will our parents be able to be midwives without any buka midwifery?
Exactly.
All these things. How were they done? But if our parents were so uncivilized and if our ancestors were so stupid, they were just sitting there when a white person come, oh, take my land, take my cows, give me a mirror. Why is it how stupid do you think you are? And Pepita, how stupid you are. Do you think we first saw our reflection in a fucking mirror?
There was water, bro.
There was water, my
There was
brother.
There was water.
I'm
There
like,
was water.
the people are drinking
You
water
look- you
every
look-
single
you-
day. How did they
Yes.
not?
In
Like,
the rivers.
Yeah.
Because a river is a natural thing.
You
go
tell me,
there,
Hore,
you see
the first
yourself
time
there.
Shaka saw him, like the movie Shaka Zulu. There's that part in Telecom Blind. Mo abonang spilly. You are lying. That one was written there for a reason. Hore, no, very big. They gave because a history go school. Never they gave us mirrors, but Lady Pili. Then they gave them cows. I'm like, and then how she will spilly so, but they will want to like to catch the person behind. I'm like, you are making us stupid now. There is no way in heaven that thing happened because there was water,
There was
water.
water.
and there's no way that will make us now.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
You understand?
It means that in other ways they were trying to say that our streams were so dirty, they were so green that
We could not see.
We couldn't
No,
even
no,
see
no,
our
no.
reflection.
Exactly.
There's no such.
But
There
then we
was
are
no
still
such.
and they were alive. There were no sicknesses. There was nothing like that. And if there was sickness, somebody was there. Where's the Bible in Khatlang? Any reference in Khori, it was in African spirituality. It's in the Bible as well.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Before Habe will go to war, he will consult the prophets.
Exactly.
Do you understand? Kopola Nagola Bera Solo the king. The Bible says a day came, Barawata donkey, right? They will ask, no, they say seer.
Exactly.
Money,
Hey,
and Bible at that time, the word of God was very scarce. His voice was never heard. But there was once an old seer somewhere. Go and see him and where are my things? One fella come here. So nowadays people maybe bad level at this thing because of anybody now is being called our gay, our lesbian, our young, or with about your drosses as well. But gay. You know what? All that nonsense. Maybe that is why people are now losing faith in our things because of what we see on TV, and all this nonsense. And how can somebody be so proud to come on TV? But lawyer.
No,
Like, naga lawyer. And I can do this. Some people are so stupid. They will comment with their pictures and names, and it's easy for me. I'm like, you are so proud of that.
No, you see, that's the thing. The thing is this. This is what happens when you dull. You know, when your mind is not working. You understand? That's what you'll be proud. You'll be proud of foolish things.
Yeah.
In the actual fact, our secrets were never meant to harm.
Yeah.
Each other, anyone.
Yes.
We were more on a defensive mode. So that is the reason why in the Abazuguti Manje says, because you know what's funny, what people don't understand. Nalezi ihlwele lezi otuthatha lamandla kiwo uyo bulala omunye umuntu. Do you know ukuthi kunesjeziso that comes after that?
Yeah. Everything has got consequences.
That is why it's
man.
called witchcraft.
Even
because
the
it's harming
even the
another
Bible
human
is saying
being.
anything under the sun will be judged. So whatever you do on somebody else, you look at a punishment as well.
How do you explain? Because of you see, this is what I want people to understand. Our powers were meant to defend us, not to us hitting each other.
Yes.
How do you explain the issue of Queen Zinga, a woman of the Bakongo people,
Yes.
who fought the Portuguese as a woman, unconquered, to a point that even Alexander the Greek was scared of her. This is a woman. They couldn't conquer her. Why? I've said it in that book, The Missing Link. It is because when she will go to war, before she will go to war, there were rituals that were done. You see, this is what we talk about spirituality. Tina, our thing does not start with me getting a degree, does not start with me getting money. Our thing starts le emsamo.
Yeah.
There are things that needs to be done before you face the day, before you embark in whatever course that you are embarking on. So, and that is why once we are moshega lapayana emsamo, whatever it is that you are going to do, it is not going to stand. Queen Zinga fought the Portuguese for many years, and they tried so many tricks, they couldn't overcome her. Why? Because of there were rituals that were being done. Now check what they did, and this is the reason why I've got a big problem with the church story. Check what they did. Same modus operandi, same strategy with the Xhosas. They brought in the missionaries.
Yeah.
Missionaries went into a recruitment.
And they converted other
They
people
converted other people.
who took their side against their own people.
They gave them a black trouser and a white shirt, and they built the church, and they said we are bringing civilization. And then from there they took them to school. They showed them how to read and write and how to speak Portuguese and all these kind of things. Now these groups now they were taken and set apart. At the same time, now they were shown their people to be savages. Then they were given guns and trained military-wise because they realized that they were outnumbered, so they needed to win. And this happens over years. It is the same thing that we were talking about. You see, all these topics, they connect. You remember the same thing that we were talking about the foreigners?
Yes.
And I said to you that in the actual fact, here we're sitting on a ticking time bomb.
Exactly.
Because of, you get used to the things that are happening to a point that you no longer see actually the main
the danger.
The danger. You become comfortable.
Yes.
Do you understand? Now that's what they did over the years. They recruited, they grew, they trained others into military, how to use guns, how to do this, how to arrest, blah blah blah. From there, they attack Quinzinga.
They have an army now.
Now they've got an army. Now Quinzinga had to now fight against
His own people.
her own people.
Yeah.
Now listen to this. In these recruitment camps, what will happen is this. As they recruit these black people, they will suck information.
Yes, of course.
Where does she get her strength? Now, this is where you see the foolishness of some of our people. Secrets.
I was surprised to hear how the hell does that
listen
happen?
to this. This guy now is wearing a white shirt and a black trouser. He has been given food. Now he can speak Portuguese. Now he can hold a gun.
He thinks he's one of them,
He thinks
yeah.
that is one of them. He starts dishing out information and the secrets of how Quinzinga becomes powerful and how is it that they can be able to overpower her
Imagine.
and all that. That is how black people were conquered.
Yeah.
And that same strategy has been implemented even until today. Now we are divided in politics. We are divided in terms of class, finances. We understand what I'm saying? Now the division among black people is inevitable.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, I think we've spoken enough. Like, if there's any new comments from Matapelo or anybody else who's commented. Oh, yeah. Are cute. Are Kgosi Tsomboloi. All right. Christians have been brainwashed to a point that everything we do as Africans is witchcraft. Yes, even I believe and agree with her. But now we are not to blame. As Africans, we are using that nonsense to hurt other people, which are not supposed to, by the way.
Exactly.
So we can also call all white mediums balo yakeri. We are also regarded as such when we practice our Africanity. Of course, we can call them that. They are calling themselves witches anyway. They say they're witches and wizards. Harry Potter, the girls, they are witches and the boys are wizards, right? Yeah, and then I repeat, that white gay man with a thorn crown is not the correct image of Yeshua. Oh, shit. That one gay. Very is not, I do agree. It's not.
And Nahana, the whole of Africa is iconizing.
Well, and I've seen. I was so shocked to see even Nigerian movies that they still, whenever they're playing the church thing inside, they put the Catholic Church and that white thing. I'm like, come on, guys. Now, what the hell is wrong with you? Like, how do you do that?
That is, they believe.
And the very Bible
that is
arena.
the Christ who walked this earth.
And the very Bible arena. Wait, Yari. Bible arena, Exodus 20, verse 1. Thou shalt not have any graven any image, graven image of anything on earth or in heaven, under the sea, under the earth, and you worship it. I'm the only Lord God, kilo one. My Catholic Church, they have that nonsense. But now, and Maria Maria, we pray to Mary. Number one, and the so-called saints that are supposed to be there. Those people are dead. It's fine. Wherever they are there. But look, stop. You understand? Because what you are doing is you are idolizing the very Bible. Erring, don't do that. I asked the other person, GB, ya the cross. Because what the cross is not even a holy symbol. Do you know the cross? It's not a holy symbol. It was a punishment that was there in Rome and Israel.
they were killing people
like that. It was their
Like
capital
that.
punishment.
Yes,
So
it was their
then that's why
capital
all in
punishment.
the Pontus Apostolic crucify him. Haishibari, oh, it was something which was
Was
which was used.
done. Yes.
All the criminals that were considered to have
Exactly.
performed high treason.
Yes, they were hanged like that. I asked this other one. How do you feel? How will you feel? Let's say, for example, you come to your house, Jibilika, right? Tonight, you get to the house. He or she's dead, stabbed with a knife, lying on the floor, on the kitchen floor, right? No likeness. And also, go first scenario for
I'll go crazy.
now that knife is still in his neck or her neck, right? And they left him there, her there, come calling. Then, would you take that knife and frame it?
No ways.
Why
no
not?
ways.
Why not?
Oh, it will
Why
remain.
not?
Oh, it's
trauma.
Yeah.
trauma. It's gonna
Trauma.
traumatize me.
Then how do you think God feels with that cross on your neck, for example? How do you think God feels with that big cross on your church
high o
that you
crucify
bow to? In Anglican, they literally bow on that thing. Why do you think God feels whenever he sees that little so-called image of Jesus Christ on your church wall or on your neck? Doesn't that remind him of that day? Because if you can go deeper, I remember I read this book when I was in the missionary school way back. Alberto Rivera, he's a Spaniard. He was a Spaniard. He was a Jesuit. What am I Jesuits?
Jesuits, yeah. The spin doctors.
And and other police of the Catholic Church. Those who destroys the church state unity because of Catherine Kuhlman.
Actually, you talk about the Jesuits. That is where the Bazarones come from. That's a group of the
Barcelona.
the
No,
Jesuits. and
they were
all that.
actually trying to destroy that movement, evangelical Christianity, the Jesuits. But Catherine Kuhlman and the rest of them that were sent by the Pope to infiltrate the church and pretend who they are, you know. So Bobin Hin and the rest of them, they are from there.
Exactly.
So, why, but and then this guy Ari, whatever one thing people don't understand. Mudimu na kol Jesu ahoa on that cross. God was looking the other way. Literally. He could not bear the voice of that boy. And Michael and his angels were just above the clouds, waiting for a command to say, let's go in and destroy these people now and rescue this kid. No, you're not going to do anything. He has to go through this. He knew from the beginning. But this was going to have to go. He's going to be like his burden. So now, picture that scenario, Jibilik. We picture when as a parent, as I asked earlier, would you frame that knife with the blood on it?
No.
And put on your wall and say, yes, now I celebrate
Never.
Easter every now and then. I'm celebrating the death of my son
Every year.
by looking at that knife and reenacting this death and all those things. We have been duped. But look, now comes Christmas. Let's talk about this on a Christmas. Christmas Day. Do you think it's a Christian holiday?
My brother, let me tell you something. Our year ends in September as Africans.
Yes, as
end of the story.
Africans.
Yes.
Our year ends
End of
in
the story.
September.
The calendar we have now is being done by the Gregorian monks.
Yeah.
Yes.
The Catholics.
Yes.
They are the ones
Yes.
who wrote the whole 12 months.
This is the reason why sometimes I become so reluctant
Yeah.
to celebrate birthdays, because I always ask people that you are celebrating something that you don't know, because you don't even know how old are you.
Yes.
You might be 3 years younger, and then when you are already in your mind programming yourself that you are 4 or 5 years older than the actual
Why, but
age.
actually, it's
You
yes.
go to Ethiopia. If here you are 33, right now in Ethiopia you are 30 years. We are in the same continent. What calendar are they using? Now, what determines your age? Please answer me. Because
I'm confused.
Educate me. No, I'm telling you. Because you go to Ethiopia, if you are 33 now, in Ethiopia's calendar, you are 30 years.
Yes.
3
How
years
so?
younger.
How so?
Exactly. 3 years younger. Now, we are in the same continent. Question, what determines your age?
Yeah.
Now, if you're going to say on this piece of paper and say that this is my birthday, what the fuck? Because at the end of the day, we are on the wrong calendar.
Yeah.
We are supposed to be, Tina, as Africans throughout September. That's it. Cut off year, beginning of a new year.
Yes.
And guess what's happening? The same people who are applying our calendar are the same white Jewish people who stole our stuff and call themselves Jews. Jews are using September.
Wow.
Heretics that can speak Hebrew.
What a wow.
That's what they are called.
Can we go on a break, please?
We are leaving. It's fine.
Okay,
Don't worry.
okay.
Referite for tonight. Okay. As I said, Christmas, this is not a Christian holiday. So stop celebrating Christmas today. And stop buying the Christmas trees and putting them there. That's Kgosi. Le Bible mo Jeremiah. Jeremiah 3 verse 10. Do not be like the heathens who go and cut gold and silver. That's idolatry. So stop on Christmas tree, Agnes.
Wow.
Stop a Christmas tree. There's no Santa Claus. White fat old white guy who's flying over the world with presents. Look down about the tooth fairy. Little form of the native. The tooth fairies and all this nonsense. And they keep up on this thing, like in this bubble. They must just grow up with this nonsense. There is some mystical creature somewhere. Stop. Those are Roman Catholic things. But creative buying for Sabbath or be able to so Christmas Christmas then the 25th of December Israel. Let's talk about that Middle East. Is it summer? It's scorching winter.
Yes.
There is no way in heaven that the shepherds will be out in the field by deciding to cook at that.
That's how it is.
25th December.
That's how it is.
That was the birth of Tammuz. About the sun got one day. Deep inside this mysticism. So lo never Christ a whole Christian Jubilee area in 25. I was part of that, Linda.
Yes.
Before my eyes opened around I got the bill.
That's how it is.
25 years, 25 on top of December,
But not to tell you, the awakening to me, the way it happened, I love it because, ancestors are very, very strategic. Very strategic. Now my awakening, it happened as table. I think my passion for stable made me to do research.
Yeah.
And to look for answers. And to actually discover the truth.
Yeah.
Because I just could not understand. Something in me was refusing to accept the fact that I can't marry that one. I can't marry that one. And then other people are doing it, but when they're doing it in the name of religion. But now when I do it, it is said that it is sin. And yet, we are being told that we are worshiping the same God. And you go to other places, these ones, they call themselves Christians, but they've got 4 or 5 wives. Now I'm a Christian, but I can't have because of the Bible does not allow me. But how is it that you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It started not making sense to me. Until I realized that this is nothing but a strategy. This is nothing but a system.
Yeah.
It's a system. We are placing a system. In New York alone, you have well over 300, if not 400,000 population of polygamists. In New York.
Yeah.
Which America banned polygamy.
Yeah.
But under a religion is practiced.
Yeah.
Now, all these things, you start to understand that this is a mind game. It's a mind game. And that's what made me to awaken that, you know what, somebody's playing with our minds here.
Yeah.
Somebody's trying to gain control of us. Somebody's trying to remote us. And there are those of us, Shem, who have fallen into this trap and they will fight tooth and nail to protect this agenda, not knowing that actually it's against them.
Yeah.
You see our people, the way they fight for religion. I can tell right now, I don't know how many viewers we've covered, but I know that there's going to be a lot of people right now who are so angry, others are so emotional about it.
It's fine.
And you understand?
Yeah.
This is where you start to realize that, Shem, you know what? It's so sad. Lack of knowledge,
indoctrination as well, and indoctrination and we always put in constant state of fear. That is what got us a shame as Africans, and we fell for that because we are in this fear of the of hell. I'm not saying that like in there's no hell. I'm saying we've been put into this constant fear of this huge giant God who's gonna burn you and destroy and do all this manner of things. Yes, there is gonna be punishment, but it's not as severe as some people are saying. Yeah. Anyway, we've come to the end. We've come to the end of the show today. 10 to 10.
Yeah.
So thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for taking your time and your data to be with us. Matapelo, as always, my baby, thank you so much for taking part. Who said Yeshua was born in Christmas? The Christmas tree is a symbol of a brutal way our people were killed. Yes, my girl. We were native. And then who said Yeshua was born in Christmas? The Catholics are saying that, and every other Christian, they are saying that Jesus was born 25. And many Christians go out and celebrate that nonsense. Like Easter thing is not a date and they always go there and they reenact the death of somebody. I'm like, yeah. Anyway, that is how traditions have been manufactured to dupe African people into thinking what they're doing the right thing, whereas they're not doing the right thing. Anyway, please, thank you so much for being with us today, and please continue to comment and let us know what you guys think about today's show. Do you agree with what you are saying? The negatives and the positives, yeah, we do want them because that will help us out to grow the show. Tell us what must we do to make the show, we grow the show. Let us say the bad and the good. We will fix that. It's not a problem. We are a growing station. We are Kgosi FM. Remember, podcast, Spotify will come, but this one, the live streaming is both on YouTube,
Instagram.
Facebook.
Instagram get gay. I don't do Instagram. Facebook and YouTube, we are streaming live there now. So the videos are going to be there forever. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. And then for Spotify, I'm always posting the videos nowadays. So even audio files, they can go there, so you can find there. Please like, share, subscribe. As you can see on the screen, everyone, sorry. Please share, subscribe, and everything else. And then let's thumbs up as well. And then let's just have fun. I'm doing this, all right? So, Labone. Oh, this Thursday we are talking about the real and fake gobelas. Real and fake gobelas. The real call, bizo. The real one, they're the fake one. Because I'm tired when I Jibilik of always seeing these bitches. Hey, when I keep on the beats, I'm done. So you're gonna expose this nonsense. This Thursday, please join us 7:30 to 10 o'clock at We're talking about the real and the fake call. Right? The real and the fake ibizo. Pizzo, Kastwan. Yabungak. Bye bye. I love you. Have a good night. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye.